Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures, etc. And I am still in the process of working on my Drama Queen junk journal. And I have this lovely picture of Katharine Hepburn that I got out of a book called At This Theater that I picked up at a thrift store. And I backed it onto some heavier cardstock, and my intention is either to turn this into a tall journal card or a tag or even a tuck spot in my journal, but I wanted it to be a little bit more vintage looking. And I saw Natasha at Treasure Books use tea bags to cover magazine images to make them look more vintage. So I've taken a couple of tea bags and opened them up and taken the tea out and kind of wiped them clean. And because no one tea bag was enough to cover the entire image, I took my water brush and just kind of tore, made this part, moistened this part right here, and then tore it off, and then did a similar one to the other one. So they will overlap a bit, and but that's okay with me because it'll look kind of like a really old photograph, I'm hoping. So I've got some of my Distress Collage Medium here, and you can use Mod Podge for this, but I've been really happy with this Distress Collage Medium. And I'm just going to cover her completely. Well, at least the top half of her for right now, so I can put the top part on. And I really hope this works. I have not tried this technique yet. I just saw her do it, and I just thought it looked so cool that I thought that this would be a good application for it. And I'm hoping it turns out. And if not, I just won't post this video. So if you're watching this right now, then you know that I'm happy with the result. Okay, that's the top piece on. Just want to make sure that it's really stuck down there good. And put the bottom one on. My husband is out there making breakfast. He does every morning, and I told him that if he's ready before I'm done here, then he could just kind of lightly tap on the door. In which case I will pause the video and go have breakfast. Okay, now I'm going to go over the top of it with another coat of this Distress Collage Medium. Katharine Hepburn is one of my favorite actresses. I'm going to dry this with my heat tool and be right back. Okay, this is nice and dry now, and I want to give it a coat of Mod Podge gloss on top, just because I like that, and I think it helps the gold, the antique gold paste wax, Gilder's paste wax that I want to put on as well. I think it highlights it a little bit better. So I'm just going to put on a coat of the gloss. Alright, I'm going to dry that and be right back. Okay, so far I'm really liking this. I've dried it and just trimmed around the edges, and now I'm going to apply some of this Gilder's paste wax in antique gold, and I'm just going to put some on my fingers and just rub it across the high spots just to give it a little bit of shimmer. I really like this stuff, and it kind of highlights the creases and gives it just sort of a little magical quality to it. Don't want to get any on her face, just sort of around her. And I'm also going to ink around it, front and back, in case I decide to use this as a tag. And I'm just using Vintage Photo for this. And I have a piece of scrap lace here that I wanted to add for a little bit of drama, just across like this, and I'm going to use the Distress Collage medium for this. It dries clear and shrinks, and I've used it with some success with fabric like this or lace. Does a pretty good job. So I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to sew around it and then finish embellishing it. So I'll be right back. So my sewing machine decided to have a tantrum and not want to sew across here without sticking, and so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the stitching here and down here, but I'm going to do something else across the top. And I was looking at my scraps and I found this gold braid with part of it unbraided and leaving this sort of tassel, and I really like the way that looks. So I'm just going to tie a knot where it just starts to unravel, and I'm going to use this to accentuate, or at least hide hide where the stitching was, and use this as an embellishment on this piece. So let's get some Fabri-Tac and go across the top first, right where the stitching is. Press that down and give it a second for it to grab. I think I'll get one of my clips. Get a couple clips here to hold it in place. And before I glue this side down, I wanted to put this die cut flowers on as well, but because there's gold everywhere, I'm going to, well, first of all, where's my ink? I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to edge it with the Gilder's Paste Wax. Get rid of some of these white spots. This is one of Tim Holtz. I think it's the Layers pack. Maybe it's called Botanicals. I'll put a link in the description below. Lots of gold in this journal because it's, you know, the golden age of Hollywood, right? Or maybe some of it is anyway. So since I have the Fabri-Tac out and this is going on fabric for the lace, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac to glue this down. So I apologize if you can hear any of that noises going on next door. They've cleared the lot of all the trees and now they're doing things like digging a foundation and getting ready to build on it. So consequently it's rather noisy. So I hope whoever buys the house that they put on there, I hope they're nice. Okay, now let's put this down. I think that looks really pretty. And I better do something with this. I'm going to tie it and then I'm going to glue the, not tie it, I'm going to trim it and then glue the end so that it doesn't come unraveled. She looks very mysterious now, doesn't she? And I've got this transparent butterfly I wanted to put there as well. And for that, I'm going to use the Distress Collage Medium since it dries clear. Dab some of that on there. I want to be able to see through it when I'm all done. And I think it needs a word, and I think the word needs to be mysterious. I mean, that's the actual word, mysterious. And I'm going to use this Dymo labeler that my husband found for me that does letters in cursive. So let's see if I can spell mysterious without making any mistakes. So M-Y-S-T-E-R-I-O-U-S. Yeah, I like that. So we'll trim it. Right down here at the bottom. And I'm going to use art glitter glue for this, even though it's going on the lace, because if you've watched my other videos where I've used Dymo labels, you'll know that I never recommend using Fabri-Tac because it will melt the plastic and the writing. Okay, so right now I'm thinking that this is going to be a tuck in my journal, but you never know. It might end up being a tag. Let me see if I've got a spot. So on this signature cover, I have this beautiful clock and where it says Showtime with some show lights on there and a cello. And I've got a belly band here in the back where this might work perfectly. But we'll see. I haven't decided yet. She might be a tuck, she might be a tag, or a journal card. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This is a technique that this is the first time I've tried it, using a tea bag to cover an image. And I used Mod Podge Gloss, Distress Collage Medium, and some of the Gilder's Paste Wax. And I will have links for all of the things that I use down in the description below so that you can look them up on Amazon. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. So let the serendipity find you, everyone. Happy crafting. Bye bye.